Double, Not Half. Story by Rodney Gottula. Illustrated by Arthur Lynn. When I was 8 years old, my family decided to move to Japan for a year. It was a little scary having to tell my friends goodbye because a year was a long time and I wasn't sure if I'd ever get back to Montana. My mom is Japanese, so she was excited to return to Japan where she could speak her own language, eat her favorite foods, and see old friends and family. My mom began teaching me about Japanese culture. She showed me pictures of shrines, temples, castles, and the Japanese countryside. Not only does Japan have big cities with tall buildings and lots of people, but it also has lots of mountains, rivers, trees, and beautiful flowers that change wonderful colors as each season passes. As my mom showed me more and more pictures and told me that I would get to ride on a bullet train that goes faster than 100 miles per hour, I began to get more and more excited about living in Japan for a year. We arrived in Kobe in June, but the Japanese school year begins in April. I was already 3 months behind the other third grade students. Plus, even though I could speak some Japanese, I could only write a few characters of the Japanese alphabet. Fortunately, my teacher was a very nice man. He welcomed me into his class and helped me feel comfortable with the other students. Soon, I had made a few friends and was beginning to enjoy my new life. School was fun, and every day, after doing my homework, I ran out of our little apartment to one of the many small playgrounds near my home to play with my friends until dinner time. One day while playing, however, one of the boys on the playground called me Hafu, which means half in Japanese. Over the next several days, I heard other kids refer to me as Hafu too. It didn't really bother me, but when my dad heard about it, he didn't like it. I remember him exclaiming, "You are not half, you're double. There's no such thing as half a human being. Sure, I'm American, and your mom is Japanese, but we didn't create half a child. You are lucky to speak 2 languages, smart enough to understand 2 cultures, able to live and play and learn in 2 countries. So you see, you're not half, you're double, twice as lucky as most." The only way you can get half of anything is to subtract. But you don't lose your ability to speak Japanese just because you speak English too. You don't lose your American friends just because you have Japanese friends too. No, what you have isn't subtraction, it's addition. You speak Japanese and English. You have American friends and Japanese friends. You can enjoy pizza and sushi. That's not subtraction, it's addition. You're double, not half. I'm older now, and I haven't lived in Japan for a long time. I've forgotten a lot of my Japanese, but I've never forgotten the lesson my parents taught me. In fact, I try to share that very same message with others who walk in 2 worlds. Just the other day, a native friend of mine, who is Crow, referred to herself as half. Of course, I told her there's no such thing as half a human being. "Seriously," I said, "you can only get half by subtraction. But you speak Crow and English. You have Indian friends and white friends. You've been elected powwow princess and homecoming queen. That's not subtraction, that's addition. People like us are fortunate folks. We're not half, we're double." "Well then," she replied, "my cousin must be triple because he speaks English and Crow and Blackfeet." We just laughed and smiled. "Absolutely," I said. "Some people are probably even quadruples." After all, there's no such thing as half. a human being.